Welcome to Timeless Memories. I'm Sarah. This channel is a special place where we honor remarkable lives that continue to be remembered with love and admiration. Here, we reflect on unforgettable figures from film, music, television, and culture, celebrating their journey, their impact, and the legacy they left behind. Every tribute we share keeps their memory alive and forever meaningful. The jazz world has lost one of its most expressive and widely admired voices with the passing of Ken Peplowski at the age of 66. Born in 1959, he built a long and respected career defined by warmth, melodic sensitivity, and a distinctive tone that connected deeply with audiences around the world. As a clarinetist and saxophonist, Peplowski was known not only for technical skill, but for the emotional clarity he brought to every performance, shaping each phrase with a sense of storytelling and care that made his playing instantly recognizable. Over the decades, he became a prominent figure in American jazz, performing in a wide range of settings from intimate clubs to international stages, always carrying the same musical sincerity. Beyond performance, Peplowski played an important role in nurturing jazz communities, particularly in Oregon. As music director of the Oregon Coast Jazz Party in Newport from 2007 to 2014, he helped elevate the event into a celebrated gathering for musicians and audiences alike. He also contributed as music director of the Oregon Festival of American Music in Eugene, where he highlighted the richness of American musical traditions and encouraged a broad appreciation for jazz and related genres. Those who worked with him often remembered his kindness, curiosity, and openness, describing him as someone who was as thoughtful in conversation as he was on stage. He had a wide-ranging musical curiosity that extended beyond jazz, reflecting a genuine appreciation for many styles and influences. Ken Peplowski's legacy lives on through his recordings, collaborations, and the many musicians he supported, leaving behind a body of work marked by elegance, generosity, and enduring artistry. Josh Marrow is remembered as a strong, disciplined athlete whose story reflects perseverance, commitment, and a deep sense of responsibility, both on and off the field. Born in 1990 and raised in Texas after moving from England as a child, he developed early into a dedicated football player, standing out in high school for his defensive awareness and work ethic. He later continued his development at Stanford University, where he balanced academic demands with high-level college football, earning respect from coaches and teammates for his consistency, focus, and team-first mindset. After going undrafted, he pursued his professional goals with determination, working through short opportunities in the league, and eventually earning time on NFL rosters, where he contributed as a reliable defensive lineman known for effort rather than spotlight. Beyond football, he was described by those close to him as grounded in family values and personal faith, qualities that shaped how he approached challenges and relationships. His journey is often viewed as an example of resilience, showing that success is not only measured in headlines, but also in persistence, discipline, and character. In public remembrance, his life is spoken of with respect for both his athletic dedication and the steadiness he brought to every stage of his path. George Foreman, born on January 10, 1949, was one of the most powerful and respected figures in the history of boxing. Known for his incredible strength, fierce determination, and commanding presence in the ring, he rose to worldwide fame as a heavyweight champion and became a symbol of perseverance and resilience. Foreman's career included unforgettable moments that helped shape the sport, earning him admiration from fans across generations. Yet his story extended far beyond boxing. After stepping away from competition, he experienced a profound personal transformation and became a minister, dedicating himself to faith, family, and helping his community. This new chapter revealed a different side of him, thoughtful, compassionate, and deeply grounded. Over time, George Foreman also became a beloved public personality, known for his humor, wisdom, and ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Whether speaking about discipline, life lessons, or personal growth, he carried an authenticity that made him widely admired beyond the world of sports. George Foreman passed away at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy defined not only by championships, but by reinvention, personal growth, and inspiration. His life remains a powerful reminder that true greatness comes not just from success, but from the ability to evolve, inspire others, and leave a lasting positive impact on the world. L. Simone Scott was a celebrated chef, food stylist, and television personality whose warmth, creativity, and passion for cooking touched countless lives. Born in Detroit, she grew up believing that food was more than nourishment. It was a way to bring people together, create comfort, and celebrate community. Before entering the culinary world, Elle worked as a social worker, dedicating herself to helping others, a compassion that remained at the center of everything she later accomplished. After training at the Culinary Institute of New York, she built a respected career styling food for major television productions and culinary media. In 2016, she made history as the first Black woman to join America's Test Kitchen, where her approachable teaching style and joyful personality inspired home cooks across the country. Beyond television, she founded She Chef, creating opportunities and support for women of color pursuing careers in food and hospitality. L. Simone Scott passed away at the age of 49, but her impact continues through the people she mentored, the barriers she helped break, and the love for cooking she shared so generously. Her legacy remains one of resilience, kindness, inspiration, and genuine human connection. Bud Cort is best known for his offbeat and deeply expressive screen presence, especially his unforgettable role in Harold and Maude, where he portrayed Harold, a young man fascinated with mortality who forms an unexpected bond with the free-spirited Maude, played by Ruth Gordon. The film, directed by Hal Ashby, gradually grew into a cult classic, admired for its dark humor, emotional honesty, and unconventional love story that continues to resonate with audiences across generations. Cort's performance is often remembered for its quiet intensity, subtle comedic timing, and the way he conveyed vulnerability without overstatement. Born with a strong passion for storytelling, he was drawn early to acting and developed a natural sensitivity for character-driven roles. His career expanded after being discovered by Robert Altman, leading to appearances in films such as MASH and Brewster McCloud, where he further demonstrated his distinctive artistic style. Despite facing significant personal and physical challenges after a serious accident in the late 1970s, he showed resilience by continuing to work in film and television, later appearing in projects like Dogma and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Over the years, filmmakers and colleagues have often praised his originality, emotional depth, and magnetic screen presence. His body of work remains a lasting example of individuality in performance, reflecting a career built on creative risk-taking, authenticity, and a commitment to portraying characters with honesty and heart. Andy Kershaw, born 9th November 1959 in Littleborough, was a British broadcaster celebrated for his adventurous, boundary-pushing approach to radio and music storytelling. Andy Kershaw passed away at the age of 66 after a battle with cancer, leaving behind a career that significantly expanded how audiences experienced global music. His interest in sound and culture deepened during his time at the University of Leeds, where he became involved in promoting live music and encountered emerging acts such as Dire Straits and The Clash. He first reached wider audiences through the Old Grey Whistle test, before becoming a distinctive voice on BBC Radio 1, following a similar ethos to broadcaster John Peel in championing music far outside the mainstream. In 1985, he contributed to the global broadcast of Live Aid and later reported from significant international events, including coverage related to the Rwandan genocide, reflecting his interest in both music and world affairs. His career included personal and professional challenges, but he continued returning to broadcasting with a strong commitment to sharing overlooked sounds and cultures. Even in later years, despite illness, he remained respected for his curiosity, independence, and willingness to challenge musical boundaries, leaving a lasting influence on radio broadcasting and music discovery. Demi Moore built a legacy in Hollywood that few could rival, but her story was never defined only by fame or film success. It was shaped long before the cameras, before the awards, and before the world knew her name. From the haunting emotional weight of Ghost to the physical and psychological intensity of G.I. Jane and the commanding presence she brought in A Few Good Men, she became a symbol of resilience in an industry that often rewards perfection while punishing vulnerability. Yet behind that public image was a life formed in instability, emotional absence, and survival. Born in Roswell, New Mexico in 1962, Demi entered a world already fractured by abandonment. Her biological father left before she was born, and her early years were defined by instability, constant relocation, and emotional uncertainty. Childhood offered no lasting safety, only movement and adaptation. These experiences forced her into emotional self-reliance long before adulthood arrived. What emerged from that environment was not ease, but endurance. Every chapter of her early life shaped a woman who would later refuse to be defined by limitation. Instead, she turned survival into strength and pain into persistence, building a foundation that would eventually carry her into Hollywood history and ultimately transform her into a figure defined not just by fame, but by strength. A childhood marked by instability. Demi Moore's childhood was shaped by constant movement, emotional uncertainty, and a lack of stable grounding that most children rely on for safety. Raised primarily by her mother Virginia, she experienced a home life affected by addiction, instability, and financial struggle. After her mother's remarriage, temporary hope of stability quickly faded as conflict and emotional tension became part of daily life. By her early teens, she had already lived in more than 30 different homes, moving from apartments to temporary spaces that never allowed permanence to take root. Each move reinforced the idea that nothing in life could be relied upon for long, not people, not places, and not comfort. Stability was not something she experienced, but something she observed from a distance. These years shaped her awareness of impermanence and taught her to adapt quickly to change. Emotional security was rarely present, and silence often replaced safety. Even simple routines were disrupted by uncertainty, forcing her to mature faster than those around her. This environment created a quiet emotional armor within her, one built not from choice but necessity. In the absence of stability, she learned awareness, resilience, and self-reliance. These early experiences became the foundation of her personality, shaping how she would later approach relationships, work, and survival in a world that offered little forgiveness. The night innocence ended too early. One of the most defining moments of Demi Moore's childhood came when she was only 12 years old, an age when most children are still protected by innocence and routine. That sense of safety was shattered in a single night when she discovered her mother in a life-threatening medical crisis. Instead of retreating into fear, she was forced into action far beyond her years. The experience demanded emotional strength and physical response in a situation no child should face alone. It became a moment that permanently altered her understanding of life, responsibility, and fragility. From that night forward, sleep was no longer peaceful, and safety was no longer assumed. She became hyper-aware of her surroundings, always listening, always prepared for instability to return. The emotional impact of that experience stayed with her, shaping how she processed fear and attachment. Childhood, in its traditional sense, effectively ended in that moment, replaced by constant awareness and emotional vigilance. What remained was a young girl learning to function in a world that no longer felt predictable. This experience deepened her internal resilience, but it also left emotional scars that would echo through her later life, influencing her relationships, her sense of trust, and her understanding of control, betrayal, survival, and the cost of trust. As Demi Moore grew older, the instability of her childhood was compounded by deeper emotional wounds that reshaped her understanding of trust and safety. In her teenage years, she later revealed experiences that left lasting psychological impact, including betrayal by those closest to her. These events were not just moments of loss of innocence, but fractures in her sense of identity and worth. Trust, once broken at such a formative age, became something she struggled to rebuild. The emotional weight of these experiences created a deep internal conflict between independence and vulnerability. She learned early that relying on others often came with consequences, and this belief shaped much of her early emotional distance. Instead of seeking protection, she began developing emotional self-sufficiency, believing that survival required isolation from dependency. The idea of safety became internal rather than external. These experiences also shaped her understanding of value, self-perception, and emotional boundaries. While the details of her past remained private for many years, their impact was reflected in her guarded approach to relationships and her determination to control her own narrative. What emerged from this period was not trust in the world, but trust in her own ability to endure it, regardless of what it demanded. Leaving home too soon. By the time Demi Moore reached her mid-teens, the instability of her environment and emotional exhaustion pushed her toward independence long before she was ready for it. At 16, she made the decision to leave school and step into adulthood, not as a choice of freedom but as a necessity shaped by survival. The structure of education felt distant compared to the immediate demands of living without security or consistent support. Entering the workforce at such a young age meant taking on whatever opportunities were available, regardless of comfort or ambition. She worked in modeling, waitressing, and other jobs that provided temporary income but little stability. Every day was governed by the basic question of survival, food, shelter, and continuity. Financial insecurity was constant, and independence came without guidance or protection. This period forced her to develop discipline, adaptability, and emotional endurance. She learned to navigate uncertainty without relying on external support, shaping a mindset focused on persistence rather than comfort. While many teenagers were still protected by family structures, she was learning how to function entirely on her own. These years were not defined by success but by endurance, laying the groundwork for a resilience that would later define her career and public identity. Marriage, escape, and early fame. At 17, Demi Moore entered marriage with musician Freddie Moore, a decision later understood as less about romance and more about escape from instability. The relationship represented a hope for structure and emotional safety, but it could not resolve the deeper issues shaped by her past. Marriage did not remove her internal struggles, nor did it erase years of instability and emotional survival. Instead, it revealed how deeply those experiences were embedded within her. The marriage lasted only a few years, ending when she was still very young, but its emotional impact remained significant. It reinforced the understanding that external change cannot heal internal wounds. During this time, she also began to find early opportunities in entertainment, including her breakthrough role on General Hospital. This marked a shift from survival-based work to recognition based on talent. However, with growing visibility came new pressures. Fame introduced expectations, scrutiny, and emotional strain that often mirrored the instability she had tried to escape. While her career began to rise, her internal struggles did not disappear. Instead, they evolved alongside her success. This period became a turning point where survival and ambition began to intersect, shaping her path toward both achievement and emotional confrontation. Rise, addiction, and the breaking point. As Demi Moore's career gained momentum in the early stages of Hollywood recognition, the emotional weight of her past began resurfacing in more destructive ways. The pressure of fame, combined with unresolved trauma, led her into a period of addiction and instability that threatened both her career and personal life. What appeared externally as rising success concealed internal collapse. The entertainment industry offered visibility, but not emotional support, and she found herself navigating an environment that intensified her struggles rather than easing them. During this time, her work on projects like St. Elmo's Fire reflected both her talent and her emotional turbulence. Eventually, a critical intervention came when she was confronted with a choice that would determine the direction of her future. She was encouraged to seek sobriety or risk losing her career. This moment became a turning point, not because it was easy, but because it forced accountability at a time when collapse felt imminent. Entering rehabilitation marked the beginning of structured recovery, not only from addiction but from years of emotional accumulation. It was the first time she was required to confront her pain without avoidance. That decision marked the beginning of rebuilding, one difficult step at a time, towards stability she had never truly known before. Fame, reinvention, and Ghost. The release of Ghost marked a defining moment in Demi Moore's career and public identity, transforming her from rising actress into global icon. The film exceeded expectations commercially and emotionally, becoming a cultural phenomenon that connected deeply with audiences worldwide. Her performance carried emotional authenticity that blurred the line between acting and lived experience. Themes of love, loss, and separation resonated with her personal history, giving the role an emotional depth that audiences instinctively recognized. The success of the film elevated her career to a new level, but it also intensified public scrutiny. Fame expanded rapidly, bringing admiration alongside pressure and expectation. Her image became iconic, especially her visual transformation for the role, which symbolized both vulnerability and strength. However, the demands of success also required emotional endurance as she navigated the intensity of global recognition. Ghost did not simply elevate her career, it redefined it, establishing her as one of the most recognizable figures in Hollywood. Yet, beneath the success remained the same internal complexity she had carried for years, proving that external achievement does not automatically resolve internal history. The film became both a triumph and a reminder that visibility does not erase personal struggle. Hollywood power and public scrutiny. Following Ghost, Demi Moore entered one of the most influential phases of her career, taking on roles that challenged traditional expectations of women in Hollywood. Films such as A Few Good Men, Indecent Proposal, Striptease, and G.I. Jane demonstrated both her versatility and her willingness to confront controversial material. She broke financial barriers, becoming one of the highest-paid actresses of her time, and reshaped industry expectations around female leads. However, with success came intense public scrutiny. Her choices were often debated, criticized, and misinterpreted, reflecting broader societal discomfort with women who defied convention. Instead of retreating, she continued to pursue complex and demanding roles that challenged perception. This period revealed both the strength and cost of visibility in Hollywood. While she achieved unprecedented professional recognition, she also faced ongoing judgment that often overshadowed her artistic intent. Despite this, she remained committed to her path, refusing to reduce her career to safe or expected choices. Her presence in the industry became symbolic of both progress and resistance, highlighting the challenges faced by women who step beyond traditional boundaries. Through it all, she maintained a focus on work that reflected depth, risk, and emotional honesty, strength, reinvention, and enduring identity. As Demi Moore moved beyond the peak years of her most intense fame, her life entered a quieter but deeply reflective phase. The public spotlight shifted, but her personal evolution continued. She began to explore identity beyond roles, recognition, and industry expectations. This period was not defined by absence, but by reinvention. She reflected openly on her past, including struggles with addiction, relationships, and emotional healing. Writing and personal reflection became tools for understanding her own journey, allowing her to process experiences that had long remained unspoken. Rather than being defined solely by her career, she began to be recognized as someone who had endured profound personal transformation. Her resilience became central to how she was viewed, not just as an actress, but as a person who had navigated extreme emotional and professional landscapes. This phase of life emphasized integration rather than escape, acceptance rather than avoidance. While public attention fluctuated, her internal focus remained steady on growth and self-understanding. She continued to evolve emotionally, recognizing that strength is not a fixed state but an ongoing process shaped by experience, reflection, and time. Conclusion: a life defined by survival and transformation. Demi Moore's life cannot be understood through fame alone, because her story was built long before recognition ever arrived. It began in instability, grew through hardship, and evolved through resilience shaped by necessity rather than comfort. Every stage of her journey reflects transformation under pressure, from childhood uncertainty to global stardom and personal reinvention. Her experiences reveal a life marked not only by achievement, but by endurance, through emotional and psychological challenges that shaped her identity. What emerges most clearly is not perfection, but persistence. She faced abandonment, instability, addiction, scrutiny, and reinvention, yet continued to move forward through each phase of life. Her story is not simply one of celebrity success, but of survival translated into strength over time. Even as public attention shifted, her personal evolution continued, reflecting a deeper understanding of identity beyond external validation. Today, her legacy is defined not only by her films but by her capacity to endure, reflect, and transform. It is a reminder that behind visibility often lies a long history of unseen struggle, and that true strength is not measured by applause, but by the ability to continue becoming after everything has changed. Top of form, bottom of form.